To 5th grade science with Miss Hala. Today we will talk about forming shadows. Shadows يعني ظلال. Light can come from many different sources. There must be light for shadows to form. Shadows are formed when light shines on an object but cannot pass through it. Let's see this experiment. When John shines the torch on the toy car, he can see a shadow on the wall behind it. Okay, why do you think he saw a shadow behind the car? This is because parts of the toy car block the light. Okay. The light can pass through the window in the toy car. So, you didn't see the shadow of the window. The window is a transparent object which let the light pass through it. When John switches off the torch, the shadow disappears. So, when there is no light, there is no shadow. Let's see. John wanted to experiment with shadows. He shone the torch so that it was near to the toy. When the light source is near to the object, the shadow will be big. As you can see in picture B, the shadow is bigger than the toy car. C. When he moved the torch away, the toy car, the shadow get smaller. So, when the light source is near to the object, the shadow is big. When the source light is away from the object, the shadow will be smaller. Questions, page 67. Question 1. Look at picture A on page 66. Which parts of the toy car let the light through? As we talked before, that only transparent object let the light pass through it. So the window is a transparent object. The window let light pass through the toy. Question 2. Look at picture B and see, was the shadow bigger when the torch was near or farther from the toy car? The shadow was bigger when the torch was near the toy. Question 3. Explain what you think is happening to the light when the torch is near or to the toy car. When the torch is nearer to the toy car, the shadow will be bigger. Remember, light travels from a source. Light cannot pass through some materials. How shadows are made? Something that makes light is called light source. Let's see some examples about light source. Okay. Sunlight is an example about light source. Car light also is an example about light source. Bulb light and candle light also light sources. Let's see the question. Draw and name the light sources in order to form the brightness to the dimmest. The sunlight is very high or very strong. Then the car light also is strong. Then bulb light and candle light is the dimmest light. So the strongest light is the sunlight and the dimmest is the candle light. Look at the tree and the sun add the shadow of the tree to the picture. Page 69. Okay, the shadow appears in the opposite direction of the light source. So the sun is the light source here. Where is the sun? The shadow appears in the opposite direction of the sun, of the light source. So draw the light source here in the opposite direction. Look at the tree and the sun. Add the shadow to the picture. Also, the sunlight is here. The shadow appears in the opposite direction of the sunlight. So draw the shadow here. Draw the sun and the shadow in a different position to picture A and B. So draw the sun to the left of the tree, to the right of the tree, and the shadow will appear in the opposite direction of the tree. Describe how shadows change during the day. The sun's position in the sky affects the length and the location of the shadow. Shadows are longest in the early morning and in the moon, when the sun appears low in the sky. In midday, the sun is very high, so the shadows will be short. Shadows outside, page 70. Outside, we can see shadows of objects. Depending on where the sun is, the shadow change. The shadows are formed when an object blocks the light from the sun. If you look at the sun, first thing in the morning, it seems to be lower in the sky than it's at lunchtime. Let's see picture A and B. As we talked before, many objects outside have shadows. As you can see here, playground area. In picture B, there is a boy. Also, he sees his shadow. Questions, page 71. Question 1. What caused Hug's shadow to form? Because light cannot pass through his body. At what time of day is the shadow longest? Shadows are longest in the early morning and late when the sun appears low in the sky.